Hi, good morning. All right, let's talk ratios when feeding your starter. Now, I have always done a 1-to-1-to-1 ratio, and that means I weigh my starter, I do equal parts starter, and then water, and then flour. It's been working fine for me. It really has. I've been, really happy with my bread, and, I do little things here and there. It makes it a little better, but I have been seeing all of these videos about stop doing the 1-to-1-to-1. Something I wish somebody had told me a year ago. Don't do 1-to-1-to-1, these kind of videos. And well, I succumbed and I was like, well, okay, crap. Could my bread be so much better if I changed my feeding ratio? So I'm gonna do an experiment. So last night, and I have some photo documentation of this, so I'll use this here. But last night, I did 3 different starter jars. The first one is just what I'm gonna call my control. It's my 1-to-1-to-1. So this was 40 grams of starter, 40 grams of water, 40 grams of flour. And then I also did one that is a 1-to-2-to-2. So that's 20 grams of starter, 40 grams of flour, 40 grams of water. And then the third one I did is a 1-to-4-to-4. So 10, 50, 50. And no, I did not figure out that math on my own. I looked it up because math's hard for me. Okay, so anyway, and then I took pictures a couple times over the last 12-hour period or whatever it was before I started the dough. It's interesting. It definitely did what I read and some of the videos had said, where the rise and fall of it is very different from now. Generally, I feed my starter the night before and I get up in the morning and start a loaf. So my 1-to-1-to-1, I do that. Now, maybe that's the right ratio, because here's the other thing where maths is like, I don't know. I know it also has to do with the timing of when you're making your bread. And that, my video cut off because my alarm went off telling me it's time to stretch and fold. So I'm gonna go ahead and stretch and fold while I keep talking about you. Okay, so, where was I? Oh yeah. Okay, so I know the different ratios also potentially, well, they do, but I don't quite understand it, have to do with the timing of when you're feeding your starter and when you want to bake. Because I do understand, you want your starter to be hungry, so that when you add your flour and your water and your salt and all the things that go into, not all the things, the 3 things that go into making your bread along with your starter, then the little alive guys are hungry and all of that action starts. Here's the thing, I'm not super interested in understanding all the science of it. The science is interesting, and I feel like I've learned a lot, my last 2 years of playing around with sourdough. But what I'm really interested in, and this is what the videos said, that I was like, all right, maybe I will, give this a try and pay a little attention, is that, will I get a stronger, a stronger dough that makes a higher rise, a fluffier dome loaf. That's what I want. And sometimes I achieve that and sometimes I don't, and I can't tell you why. But I'm wondering if it potentially has to do with, if I can crack the code here, and if that, my general routine of feeding it the night before and then making dough kind of, first thing in the morning when I wake up, if maybe my 1-to-1-to-1 is the way to go. Or maybe 1-to-2-to-2 or 1-to-4-to-4 is a better way to go. So that's what this video is about. And I will keep you posted, of course. And okay, I'm gonna finish stretch and folding, but you don't have to watch me do all of that. Okay, see you in a bit. Okay, a little mid-process update here. So I've completed the stretch and fold phase. It is 10 a.m. I'm gonna make a note of that. Where's my stickies? Hold on. I don't usually take these many notes, but I just want to document everything. Okay, so this is the bulk fermentation phase. So bulk firm, I'll say. Okay, 10 a.m. Now, so here's what I have. This is my control, my 1 to 1 to 1. This is that container that I really like to do my bulk fermentation in, but I only have one. So I'm gonna do this one, like I said, like the control. This is gonna go, you want it to rise about, not quite double. So like what, like half again as big, or, you know. So anyway, I usually do it like that. It's like, can you see it, that 1 liter? And I'll go to about here. Yeah, see, math, no, I'm just sort of, you know, eyeballing. Okay, and then this one is my 1 to 2 to 2, and this one is my 1 to 4 to 4. And they're gonna sit out on my counter, and there we go. I'll see you at the next phase. Okay, it's 2 p.m. and I actually, you see that rose faster than I thought. So it's good, but I kind of wish I'd been up here like a half hour earlier. But that's okay. So it's time to shape the loaves. This is, let's see, that's my control. Here's my 1 to 2 to 2. It looks good. You can see that, good and jiggly. Same thing with the 1 to 4 to 4. So anyway, all right, I'm gonna shake these puppies and give them a bit of a bench rest. BRB. Bench resting, and honestly they all look similar. They look about the same. There's my control 1 to 1 to 1. There's my 1 to 2 to 2. There's my 1 to 4 to 4. And I will say, if anything, the 1 to 4, they got a little stickier as they went on. So that was a little, just an interesting texture, but other than that, they do look very similar. So I'm gonna give them this 40-minute bench rest, and then it'll be time to shape them again and put them in the fridge overnight. Okay, time to shape these, dirty dishes. Always the story of our life, right? Okay, I'm gonna shape these and put them in. I prepped a few bowls. Now here's something kind of funny. I realized as I was starting this video this morning, and I had this idea and I was really jazzed about it, I realized I don't have 3 of the same size Banneton baskets. I have 3 different sizes because I usually don't make more than 1 loaf at a time. So I went out and found these little bowl. I don't have anything in my town where I can get Banneton baskets. I order them online, so maybe I will now get some more. But I just found these baskets, or these little bowls that approximate the size of a basket that I'd like. And I know that you don't have to use Banneton baskets. You can use bowls. So anyway, I have 3 of the same bowls. Oh, because I realized I couldn't really do my experiment all the way through and compare the size of the loaves if I wasn't using the same size baskets. Duh. So anyway, that's what I did. 3 bowls that are the same size, prepped each one with a tea towel and a little bit of flour at the bottom. And then I'm gonna do one more shape and pop them into their bowls. Oh, I was gonna do this. Duh, there we go. You can see what I'm doing. Forget to have the sticky note follow the dough. Wouldn't that be hilarious if right at the end here I lost track of which dough ball was which dough ball? Overnight. Okay, good morning. This is day 3 of the experiment. I started 2 days ago feeding my starter with different ratios. Yesterday, I prepped the bread loaves, the dough, and this morning I put them in the oven. And now they're ready to slice into. But I thought before I slice into them, I will show you the final product. They all look really good. They do. I think there's not a fail in here, which I didn't expect there to be, but I think there might be a slight winner. So here's my control bread. Here's my 1 to 1 to 1, and it looks good. Here is the 1 to 2 to 2, and here's the thing. I think this might be the winner. It's slightly more domey, a little bit more height than, can you see that? Do you see that? Oh, that's a good shot. There, it's just a little bit more height. And then the 1 to 4 to 4, also fine. It's got a little bit, no, it's actually a smidge flatter. I think the winner is 1 to 2 to 2, second is 1 to 1 to 1, third is 1 to 4 to 4. So I'm gonna cut into these. Be right back. Okay, here's my control loaf. Let's cut it open and see what we see. I'm gonna go this way. All right, it looks nice. Can you see? Actually, looks really nice. That's a good crumb, and that's typically what my loaves look like. I just love smelling it every time. Okay, there's the control. Now I'm real curious about the 1 to 2 to 2. So let's see about this one now. I'm gonna cut the same way, same direction that is. Okay, it also looks great. I don't see a lot of difference in that crumb, but it looks really good. Yeah, that's also a pretty loaf, but like I said, it's got a little bit more height than my usual. Now let's take a look at this 1 to 4 to 4. It looks good too. This might be a very anticlimactic video, but here's the thing. It is a little bit, it has a little less height, but it still looks really good. Well, here's the thing. Although I didn't get any big mind-blowing results out of this experiment, I'm really glad I did it because it was a fun thing to try out. And I did see a slight difference, and maybe I'm gonna go with the 1 to 2 to 2 ratio based on how I like to make my bread, which is feed it the night before, or more realistically, like late afternoon the night before, bake in the morning. Maybe the 1 to 2 to 2 is a little bit better way to go. But here's actually the result of the experiment, I think. It just reminds me something that I kind of already knew, which is that this is really hard to mess up. And I hope that, I don't know, I just make these videos because it's really fun. But I'm hoping that even more folks take up sourdough baking, or any baking for that matter. It's fun, it's satisfying, it's a great hobby, and it's hard to screw up. It's really hard to screw up, and I think that is super comforting, super comforting. So, thanks for hanging with me on this experiment. I hope you had fun. I did. And, okay, what should I experiment with next? And at the end of the day, always the best way to eat it, toasted